What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another reaction video. So I came across this video where they're talking about women and how overweight women, how it's affecting the Black community, how it's affecting Black women, that there are so many overweight Black women. And a lot of times they make a lot of excuses for it and they're not making any changes or advances to be better. But a lot of people are pushing back on that because they feel like it's an attack on them personally. But listen, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Hype up the video and definitely chime in. I want to hear what you got to say on this one. Let's get into it.
Let me get this straight. When other races tell Black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle because they're more prone to health problems, y'all tell them to stay out of Black folks' business. Okay. When Black men get on here and tell Black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to stay out of women's business. Okay. When Black women get on here to tell other Black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to mind their business.
Exactly.
Y'all say we're the least supported group in America, but when somebody gives y'all sound advice, y'all would rather hold on to 400 years of slavery rather than taking accountability for your present day actions.
She's absolutely right. I mean, no lies detected, because it's what we see, it's the truth. So that's why I say Jesus himself can't tell you anything.
Oh my God.
Jesus can't come down and tell you you're too big. You just don't want nobody to tell you anything. You just want to do what you want to do, but then complain about the outcomes. Because you want other people to change up for you and do things to benefit you, as opposed to you doing what's right to give yourself a better outcome. This is what leads to the people complaining about airline seats being too small, because it's designed for regular sized people. It's not designed for people that's 300, 400, 500 pounds overweight. So you want, instead of you losing weight because that's unhealthy, you would rather them make bigger seats to accommodate more bigger people. Make that make sense. You have to take some accountability and realize, hey, you need to do something to better yourself. Everybody else don't need to just coddle that behavior and accept it. Come on, no. But let's continue.
There's been a lot of discourse about Black women and their weight, so I wanted to give my thoughts. I think that Black women, particularly urban Black women, are in a really tough spot when it comes on to this. Not because they can't do it or they can't lose weight, but because of socialization. If you think about popular media within the Black community, a lot of it kind of emphasizes curvaceous women, right? That is a beauty standard within our community. So you think like thick thighs, more assets, etc., which is great and dandy, but naturally that kind of requires heavier weight, a higher BMI in general. So when you're socialized that way, then you think that, okay, well, I want to keep pushing this type of body shape because that is what's deemed as attractive in my community. And for those that want to stand up and say, no, you're wrong, you're full of shit, because you know that's the absolute truth. Secondarily, I think that gets further instilled by family dynamics. Your mom, your dad, your aunts in particular will say something to you if you're a little too light, or they perceive you to be a little too lean. They'll tell you to eat more. There's almost like no shot at escaping it, because in a weird way, you'll get skinny shamed. And that happens a lot in the Black community. I remember growing up, there were some women that were so just slender, smaller, like a size 0, size 1. And they would get shamed for not being filled out or not being as filled out as some of the other women. So when you think about that kind of dynamic, it makes you wonder, well, if that's the way that people kind of were raised, then how can I flip the switch automatically?
Yeah, I think he has a point there. I think there is some truth to that, because I remember it growing up. You need a little bit of meat on them bones. You're too skinny. So and empty your, you got to clean your plate, eat it all. So that is definitely a thing. And I hear people talk about it because it is a thing in the Black community. But to me, that's still no excuse from going to a healthy weight to 3, 4 or grossly obese. Because we're not talking about, well, at least I'm not talking about having a little bit more curves or have a little bit more, meat on your bones, as they would say, is always considered too big or obese. The problem that we're seeing is obesity rates are super high. Like, we're seeing people that are 5 feet tall, that's 300 pounds. That's more than just a little meat on your bones or a little curvy. That's just way grossly obese. And so I just think that there is a difference between being being actually a little thicker for your, on the side, on thicker side, as opposed to being obese. Let's continue.
And by no means am I sitting here saying that pursuing a healthier lifestyle is wrong, because I really do think so. But I think there's a social dynamic that's not being spoken about enough, because this feels very abrupt. based on the last 20 years, being thicker was kind of what the beauty standard was in our community. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Hope this helps.
This whole conversation centered around black women's weight and the excuses that they make. Oh, I done had 2 kids. I went through college. I work 5 days a week. I work 40 hours a week. I be going through stuff, and those excuses that y'all being met with. And if I'm not mistaken, a black woman started this conversation. Them excuses y'all met with should be a microcosm into seeing the lack of accountability that black men have to deal with in relationship dynamics and discourses. A lot of people think, a lot of y'all suffering come from the fact that you think that the journey is supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be, life is supposed to be easy for you because you too busy idolizing and comparing your life to other people who just posting their highlights. They ain't posting the lowlights. A lot of y'all are easy to trick and easy to trick into the wrong basically. You run away from positivity, which is why your weight is so big. You don't want to be accountable for anything that don't feel good. You don't want it.
So I actually want to touch on this war on black women's body because I've been hearing a lot about it, but I'm also in the fitness industry. This is what I do for a living. So I feel like I should have an opinion. And I'm a black woman. First of all, I've been seeing a lot of videos where women will make the excuse of the community that they live in, what they have access to, et cetera, et cetera. But what I do want to say is that fitness overall is an inconvenience. If you ask anybody, it's an inconvenience. You have to either go before work, which is inconvenient too. That means you have to get up early, or it's an inconvenience because you just worked 8, 9, 10, 12, how many hours, and then you go to the gym after. That's already an inconvenience, right? So then it's, what do we have access to? That's another, you have to inconvenience yourself if you truly want a healthy lifestyle. So having greens and not overcooking them while you're eating, I feel like we make so many excuses versus just finding a solution. I don't think that it's super hard to eat a salad and not drenching it, to not overcook your vegetables, to not stop at every fast food place that you see just because you're hungry. Like, at some point, you have to have some type of self-discipline. And I feel like there's just always an excuse as to why you can't do something. And I truly don't think that it's like people are targeting black women. Yes, I just think that they know that black women can do better than what they're doing.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't think it's just a target or a war on black women. I think I see too much of this. Black women taking a stance as if everything is a target against them. Everybody's against them. No, sometimes you just have to take accountability. And a lot of times they want to use that as another excuse to not do what you're supposed to do because you don't want to do it. Like I said before, you eat what you eat because you like to eat it. It's uncomfortable eating healthy and working out because that's not what you like to do. Anything that you don't want to do is going to be an inconvenience for you because you don't want to do it. So it's easier to eat the foods that you like, even though it's making you big. But you don't want to inconvenience yourself or go through anything because it's too much for you you don't want to do it. Bottom line, you don't want to do it, so you don't. But then you make excuses as to why you're in the shape that you're in. That's it. There's no more to it. You just don't want to do it because you don't want to. You don't like it and you're not going to do it. But then the bigger you get, you keep saying, oh, well, the diet don't work the same. And I don't have access to this, but you got access to everything else, but you don't have access to fruits and vegetables. You don't have access to those. Yes, you do. When you go to the grocery store to get them cookies, cakes, and pies and Little Debbie, you have access to that. That's the fruits and vegetables are right there as well. But just be honest and say you don't want that. That's it. Let's continue.
And I don't think that, being 200 pounds, if you're 6'3", 6'4" as a female is bad. But do I think that if you're 5'4", pushing 200, I don't think that's necessarily healthy. I don't think that's something that you should be like, oh yeah, I'm thick. I wouldn't necessarily consider that thick. I would consider that overweight. And then there's the other excuse of stop being worried about everybody else's body. No, we're worried about you only simply because it's like you're not healthy and you're not trying to do anything to better yourself. And it's like we're worried because of health issues. And I think instead of taking everything as a personal attack, I personally think that you should take it as like advice. And if you're a mom, like I have mom clients and they work their butt off in the gym to get back to lose whatever. Like, you have to want to do these things. And I just feel like instead of making all these excuses, be real with yourself and just say, like, I don't have the discipline, because everybody has the time. Everybody gets the same 24 hours in a day. And I don't want to sit here and attack Black women because I'm a Black woman, but I work out twice a day, 3 days a week. You make the time for what you want.
Right.
And I think just reality needs to set in for a lot of people because we're getting older. Like, I'm 30. Like, and I don't do this for the summer body. Like, obviously, yes, I want to look good, but I do this for 50 and 60-year-old me. I don't want to be in the hospital every 2 weeks. I don't want to have a million doctor's appointments. I don't want to have to do all of those things that I see the older generation having to do because they did not care. I don't want to poke and pry myself to check my levels. Like, no, I want to live a happy lifestyle. I want to be able to play with my grandkids if I choose to have kids at some point. And I feel like I don't want knee issues. I don't want my knees and ankles to hurt when I'm older because I can't, my body physically cannot hold my weight. I just think that for every excuse that you make, try to make a solution for it. Nobody says you have to be thin. No one says you have to be 150 and, no one's saying you have to be a lean freaking machine, like nobody's saying that. But to prioritize your health is what people are saying. And to not stop and eat fast food all the time and to not go out and drink all the time. And even if family members are like, oh yeah, you're looking skinny. Oh, and like, you give people too much power when you're like, oh, well, they said this, and what? You're prioritizing yourself, something that they didn't want to do. But you keep taking opinions from people, and it's just like, it's not helping you. Like, just like how you can brush off these girls' comments that be saying stuff to you, brush off your family's comments. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this came across rude or not. I really hope it didn't. Like, I really don't want to think that I'm attacking anybody.
Right.
But I just truly think that you should prioritize yourself and you should really want better for yourself. And again, don't think about the now. Like, obviously now is important, but think about older you. You don't want to have to deal with all those health risks. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think she's absolutely right. I think she's making perfectly good sense. And I don't think that's I don't think she's coming off rude at all. I just think a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, and because they don't want to do anything about it. So if you want a difference, you have to do something about it. You can't just sit back and just think that, people are supposed to coddle your feelings and just, accept what's going on while you steadily complain about things hurting you and having these medical issues without wanting to put in the work. So that's what it boils down to. It's not about people shaming you or attacking you. It's just how people are assessing the truth. And the bottom line is you don't want to hear it. That's all. There are lots of people who have lost a lot of weight. There's all types of testimonials of women who have lost a significant amount of weight by just diet and exercise. And, I always see those videos of those young ladies who are exercising, losing weight, getting to a healthier space in life. That is so motivational, even for me. Because I remember there was a time when I was trying to lose 20 pounds, and it took me years to lose 20 pounds. Why? Because I like cookies and cakes. See, I'm not going to make an excuse to say, oh, the diet don't work the same for me. I can't do it. No, yes, I can if I put down the cookies and cakes and choose the healthier things that I know are available. Go to the gym. And another thing, if you don't have money for a gym membership, that's still not an excuse. You can exercise in your home. You can walk around your apartment building. You can lift canned goods. Baby, you could start in a chair. These 600-pound life people be sitting in their recliner, start lifting their legs one at a time, and they start losing weight and eating salad. So there is really no excuse. If you have people who are born with disabilities where they have no legs and no arms and they're working out, there's no excuse for regular adults who are able. There's no excuse whatsoever. I'm sorry. And that's just what it is, excuses. You can work out, you can lose weight. We have the availability of all the resources necessary to lose weight. So I don't think that there's a war on Black women's bodies. I think Black women have just gotten too big. These women are 200-300 pounds. They're big. And shout out to the women that I see working out and getting trainers and things of that nature. Shout out to them, because at least they're trying. You know what I'm saying? But for the ones who sitting back saying, oh, there's a war on a black woman's body. No, because diabetes is real. You know, sleep apnea is real. All of these issues that are associated with overweight and obesity, they're real. And it's what's killing us in our communities. So it's no war on it. It's just being honest and upfront and telling the truth about it, which I think a lot of people who are overweight don't want to hear, because it will cause for you to do something, and you have to be serious about it. You can't just do it temporarily. You have to do it. You have to make some changes, and that's just what it is. The idea that there's no resources and you don't know, that's a bunch of BS. There's lots of resources out here on social media, all over the place. If you want to lose weight, a lot of the things I learned about, new things that I learned about, getting healthier, I just watch YouTube. There's all type of people on here telling you different things you could do, different vitamins you could take, what to do to lose weight. It's not rocket science. It's really not. So if there's a war on black overweight women, it's a war with yourself. You're warring with eating those cookies and eating a salad. That's just my thoughts on it. And I stand by what I said. Shout out to me in that video, because I stand by it, because it's the truth. And once again, it's a delusional state to think that there's a war on you losing weight. How is there going to be a war on you? Nobody's stopping you from losing weight. That's something that you have full control over. You know what I'm saying? No, but you can't say somebody's stopping you. You can no longer use, racism and all these other things to say that you can't. Hell, when racism was at its height, Jim Crow and all of that, people were smaller. So how is it that now you have access to all these things and racism is not really at the forefront the way it used to be, and you're bigger? So one would think if you had all these obstacles back then, you would have been big then. If you didn't have access to healthier foods then, you would think you would be bigger then. But now you're big now when things are better for you. So that's just another excuse, child. I don't agree with it at all. Let's continue.
The war on black women's weight. The war on black women's weight has been on my FYP for a while now, and I've heard different sides of it. Some people are saying people want black women to slim down, but then when they slim down, things go wrong, or women just not understanding what slim is. They'd be like, oh, I'm 170, I'm really small for a black woman, and mind you, she's 5'5", and people are going off in the comments saying that's not small. And then others are like, is it really truly a war when we don't even have almond moms in our community? They stay telling people to put on weight. They don't really like thin women as much in the black community. Here's my take on it. As someone who has recently lost 50 pounds, I'm not even gonna let it be known to my family that I lost 50 pounds because of the fact that they're like, you're so skinny, oh my gosh, why eat something? And I'm like, yo, to the point where I was wondering, I had to go and ask my trainer, and I'm like, okay, am I good? Is this really abnormal? Because the reactions I was getting made me really wonder, am I missing something? Am I just blind or dysmorphic? No, I was fine. Literally, my trainer was like, you're fine. Just put on a little bit of muscle on your shoulders, a little bit of muscle here, and you're fine. So I'm just saying, people who say they want black women to lose weight until they actually lose weight, and then all hell kind of breaks loose, because people are used to how you look big. They may say that, but the way people lose weight is not always how you expect. Meanwhile, at the same time, we're not going to act like men and women don't both play into it. Girls hyping up other girls, even if they say they want to lose weight for their weight, for their health. They're like, oh, no, but you're beautiful. Ain't nobody said you wasn't beautiful. You could be beautiful and still big. You could be beautiful and be at risk for diabetes, hypertension. You could still be beautiful and then have your organs crying for all the stress you put it under. So I'm just here to say that don't be saying you want to see black women lose weight and then troll them when they start getting fit. Or be like, you're going to the gym again? Or why are you always eating a salad? Why don't you just want to go meet to McDonald's? Those little comments that people be doing, especially once you start nearing your goal physique, clock them, okay?
Yeah, I think she has a point there too. But this is why you can't do it for other people, and you can't worry about what other people say. You got to do it for you. You got to do it to make sure that you're at a healthier place. You can't worry about how people are going to perceive you, your family and all, because she's absolutely right. Family members are the first ones to tell you, oh my God, you're getting too skinny. You know what I mean? Oh my God. No, but they're not going to be there for you when you having heart issues or health problems. They're not there to make sure you're eating healthy you cannot worry about that. And it's true. When you start to lose weight and you really get to your healthier weight goal and you're healthier and you're feeling better, people are always going to scrutinize how you look because they're not used to seeing you thinner. They will definitely say, oh my God. I've heard people say, oh my God, she look like a crackhead. Oh my God, she's so skinny. But you don't realize that a lot of times that is a healthier weight for her. But everybody's so used to people with the meat on their bones. You're used to everybody being so big. So when they do get to a weight that's healthier for their height and size, it's unusual. And I get that, but you can't worry about what people are saying. If you know you're doing what's best for your body and you're doing what's healthiest for you, that's all that matters. They'll come around. They'll get used to your skinnier frame. They'll get used to it. And if they don't, oh, well, that's something they got to deal with. But yeah, you got to do what's best for you. You can't worry about what other people are saying because it will happen. But you got to know that, you are comfortable and you're where you need to be, because I guarantee if you are overweight, you're obese, and you have health issues, when you start getting that weight off and, get into a healthier place, you will feel better. You won't have a lot of the issues that you had before, and you'll feel good. And that's what it's really about, feeling better in your own skin, not running around here having headaches and having heart problems and having issues. So you know that you're doing what's right for your body. You can't worry about what people think about your outward appearance, because that really doesn't matter. So once again, I will say, I don't think there's a war on Black women's weight. I just think that people realize that it's becoming a problem. And also when people are complaining about things hurting and they got to go to the doctor and you got to have this done and all of that, when it all boils down, the doctors are even telling you, hey, you need to lose some weight. You're too heavy for your size. If you lose a substantial amount of weight, a lot of these issues that you're having will go away. And then at the same time, there could be family members who are telling you, hey, you need to lose some weight because, we want to see you here. We want to, we don't want to see you gone prematurely. So lose some weight. So, it's just not about bashing and taking shots at people. We just realize that it's a problem. But there are so many people out here condoning it and making it seem like it's not a problem, saying that, people are fat phobic if they're saying, oh my God, you're kind of you're way too much. It's not healthy. You need to do something about it. So just simply telling people that you need to do something to better your chances of living longer and better in your chances of getting to a healthier place, somehow that's considered bashing and it's a war on your weight, when people are simply saying that is unhealthy. And it's unhealthy because anytime you go to the doctors are telling you it's unhealthy and you need to lose weight. So listen, it is what it is. You can take the advice, you don't have to, but we see what it is. And not everybody is going to sit here and say that that's okay, because we all know that it's not. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell. Y'all know what it is. Hype up the video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I definitely want to hear from you. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.